So it feels good to be back. It felt good to honestly post a video. It's been a long time. Um, Man, it's honestly weird to think about where I was not the last time I was recording, but the last time I was recording a video because I am in a fucking train wreck as we speak. I mean, just hold on, look at this shit. My ceiling literally looks like this because it is apparently legally livable. And not only that, but the bedroom slants up this way and then down this way. So my bed right over there can't go exactly over to the edge of the wall or against the wall because then the whole mattress will go kirk. And so it's out a little bit, which means that I can't really put like my pillows on the wall in case I want to, lean against the wall and sit up and watch some TV. Can't do that because then the pillows fall down there. Not only that, but we've got this room slanting, or this side of the room slanting on this side, and I'm over here trying to get these fucking softbox lights on. One of them falls. The camera stand fucking falls into the dresser. As I try to catch the camera, the TV starts wobbling because I touched the fucking dresser. You touch the dresser and it almost falls backwards because, again, it slants. You can't put it exactly against the wall. Everything just fucking rolls or falls back. So we've got it on these blankets. Oh gosh. So we've got these blankets sitting under there to keep it straight, basically. And so as I'm trying to catch the fucking camera stand or the tripod, whatever the hell you want to call it, the TV starts wobbling and that almost fucking fell over. It just finally feels good to fucking sit down and breathe and hope to God nothing falls apart. The greatest part, this place is cheaper than shit. Let me tell you. Compared to my last apartment, it is because my last apartment was a really nice apartment, and this place is about a third of the price. But hey, you get what you pay for. That's enough for an update for now. I'll eventually come back later and talk about my time off, but I don't really think that matters. Today's video, I wanted to talk about what I thought when I asked, why am I a skeptic? So this one's going to be a little self-centered. So I don't want this video to reflect any other skeptics or the community at large. This is me, my positions, and my reasons. And even though me and other skeptics might share the same reasons and viewpoints, it's not like spreading butter. You can't do it across the board. The biggest reason why I'm a skeptic, other than your usual answer of the fact that we can be deceived, and it's good to have that skeptical eye for some things. Everybody in every community says, a good amount. There's always a healthy amount of skepticism. Everybody just disagrees about what that amount is. Now, my main reason is because I am prone to believing things. And I think I already have mentioned it. I was a flat earther at one point. I want you to keep that in mind. I've gone through a range of beliefs, from evangelical conspiracy theorist type flat earth jazz all the way to occultism, all the way to the Illuminati hiding proofs of God, to so many fucking things, to faith healing. The list goes on. And to add on to that, it's easier to believe things that kind of fall in line with things that you already believe. For example, take flat earth. When the proofs were given to me, they fell in line to my version of what you could call biblical literalism. And so it was really easy to believe. You won't notice it, but you won't look for as much evidence for something unless it totally goes outside of what you already believe. If you already believe it, this is bias in action. Now, the reason I'm a skeptic is because at one point I was forced to look back and realize how easily I would believe lots of things, and even things that I searched for answers for and I made bad reasons for, I believed, but for bad reasons. And so, since I am prone to believing crazy, like batshit crazy things, I'm forced to be a skeptic, basically. At least that's how I view it for now. Another reason why I apply skepticism to my life is because beliefs inform actions at the end of the day. And I want my actions to be based on reality, or the closest to reality, and not what I just want it to be or what I think it ought to be. Because, I mean, if you think about it, your best results will come from assessing and acting upon things that purport to reality rather than things you just feel. Bottom line, the truth will help you make informed decisions at the end of the day. How many times have you been with a salesman and you buy something out of feeling the need to do it, and you find out some of the things they said, they were kind of stretching the truth? This is why you kind of have that regret, because knowing the truth would have made you probably not buy that. It would have changed the action that you ended up doing. Truth informs making the best actions at the end of the day. And that sort of leads to another reason. There's many reasons why somebody is something, and so you're going to get a lot of reasons of why I'm a skeptic. You might relate to it, you might not even call yourself a skeptic, and you might agree with it. If so, great. But I'm a skeptic because I want to know the truth, and I know that I cannot get closer to the truth believing something. If I just believe it, it kind of stops me from looking for the truth. Now, this isn't always the case, because there are people that do look for the truth who still believe in what they're looking for, but they're starting at the position of belief rather than taking the evidence and following where it goes. You've got people like Dean Radin who want to prove psi phenomena. I know a lot of people have been talking to me about how, oh, look, he proved magic and you should check it out. You know, this is the type of thing that you should probably read, Hayden. You'd be very interested in it. And yes, I have read it, and I'm going to read it again because it has been a long while. I read it right after he published it, but he doesn't prove magic in that book. Not like you think. What he's trying to prove is psi phenomena, which is a totally separate thing. And this is why having a skeptical eye towards things is so important, because otherwise you'd read that and think, oh, whoop-de-fucking-do, this is the proof for magic. I don't need any more proof anymore. Let me just go on, believe, and do what I do. And then you've got, tons of different books on magic that have totally different interpretations for different things and ways about doing things. And you, at the end of the day, you go with what feels best. You're not going off of the truth anymore. You will stray down instead of straying up. But I care about what the truth is, not what it may be or what it feels like it should be or what would be most comfortable. I'm more interested in what is. And so if what you believe is the real is, it will show itself. A lot of people like to try to hide behind the whole science can't touch this, and basically demonstrating the truth of their own claims. And it should make you wonder why they believe in it. If science can't even demonstrate it, how did they demonstrate it good enough for themselves to warrant that belief in the first place? Science is the most reliable method for finding out what is. Basically creating models that, fuck that. We'll go into that in a whole nother video, because I definitely do want to talk about why there is no room for the supernatural in the laboratory. So to speak. That's another important topic I'd like to go over, and probably will not be the next one, but will be a good few down the road, so look out for that. But the goal is to base your actions more in truth than in feeling, and I know we cannot escape our emotions and our feelings, but we can try our damn hardest to let it lead us in the right way, not to be overthrown by it. I can probably remember myself saying in one of my old videos, making some spiritual analogy to this, of Jesus walking on water, and water being the emotions, and you should walk on top of them rather than drowning in them. It's all trivial, and it sounds right, but you get the idea. And that's another reason why I'm skeptic, because people can say a lot of things that sound right and feel right on the surface, like what I just said. And as they talk and make other claims, it will make you more open to believing it. But back to what I was saying, we need feeling, but there's a lot of decisions where we need to know the truth before making an informed decision, and especially warranting belief in something. Certainly some things you're going to base it on your feelings. Like, what shirt should I wear today? You look and you feel like this one will look good on you, or you put it on and it looks right. You're just feeling it. And that's absolutely fine. But take that situation and compare it to, where should I invest this $10,000? I'm pretty sure you would rather go to somebody with the expertise in investing and things of that nature, rather than going to your local palm reader for some intuition and feeling. They're really trained in that. That's their whole field. That's what they do all the time. But we don't go there. I mean, when we get sick, what do? We go to the hospital. We don't go down to the church and actually, there are plenty of people that just go to church instead of going to the hospital. Sometimes people go to both, but the fact of the matter lies that it's obvious that our best bet is going to the doctor rather than praying, is going to an investor, or at least studying enough to where you can make an informed decision on it, rather than just basing it off of feeling. Going to the palm reader. And believing things isn't just like going to the palm reader. It can be a whole lot worse than that. And it can be a whole lot better than that as well. But usually it's a whole lot worse. Another reason why I'm a skeptic is because we deceive ourselves. We constantly manipulate ourselves all the time. Now, no, not every second of the damn day. But two of the main ways that we deceive ourselves is by believing things that aren't true, or not believing things that are true. But how do we know the difference between these two? How do we make the least amount of mistakes in this area? My answer would obviously be skepticism, disbelief, or you could call it non-belief. See, let's just take an example of the orange pen on my dresser exists. And you got the counter position of it doesn't exist. Now, you can believe one or the other, or you can disbelieve in both. You can take the position of non-belief. You don't have enough evidence for you to believe that the orange pen isn't there, because the evidence that you need is to go look at exactly where I'm pointing to, and you'd know that there was not an orange pencil right there, or pen, or whatever. Now, if you end up believing that there is one, you still don't have sufficient evidence for it. But the fact of the matter is that there was an orange pen or orange pencil, and you could say, oh, it's not orange, it's orange and white. But until you have evidence, disbelief is the safest position. It's the safest bet of all. Again, sometimes you need to get out of the whole skeptical thing and base more on your feelings, when it comes to picking out a shirt in the closet, and you could probably think of a million other things like that. But when it comes to believing claims, especially otherworldly claims, kind of out there claims, you should be skeptical. And the problem is that when you're in belief, you don't really realize this, because when you believe something, it's not that outlandish to you. I mean, if it was, you probably wouldn't believe it. See, when people let's go back to the whole feeling thing for a second, because let's say somebody in your neighbor's house was murdered, and nobody knows who did it. And some guy pipes up and he says, I think the mother did it, or I think the landlord did it. If there's no justification for that, you shouldn't believe that. You should believe things when there is evidence for it. You don't just, if you can't find an answer for something, say, well, if it's not this, it must be this. And a lot of people do that with their beliefs. Just take our reality right now. People think that it was created by God, because how else could it have happened? Even if we didn't know anything about cosmology, even if we didn't know anything about the oranges of the universe, you get what I'm saying. You're still not justified in claiming, well, it couldn't have happened any other way but this. And the fact that so many people that's usually a staple in every belief, is some sort of, it's called an argument from ignorance, basically saying there's no way that this could be coming about without this, and then not having any justification for it. I don't see how they could have gotten murdered. It must have been the landlord. And so that's why skepticism is important, because it keeps you from throwing the wrong person in jail. Pretty important too. Not only that, but where to spend your money. Not only that, but how you decide to keep yourself healthy. It's in all areas of life. It's not just skepticism against pseudoscience and UFOs and Bigfoot and God and all that shit. It's about everything. It's about the guy trying to sell me shit at my front door, too. It's about the people calling me about this, that, and the other. It's about the Nigerian prince that wants to give me $1 million as long as I send him $10,000 first. I'll get it, like, in an hour. We need skepticism for a reason. And I know the whole, nobody falls for the Nigerian prince. That's bullshit. There is a ton of people. And if I may have to look this up, and I will try to look it up and source this in the comments or the description down below. But I'm pretty sure that Tennessee, the state that I live in, is the third worst. It's ranked the third worst when it comes to people getting scammed by the year. Whether that be the Nigerian prince shit, email chain threads or whatever, where there's a lot of crazy ones out there. It's not as simple as just somebody calling you and getting your card information anymore. Skepticism is needed, and even if you do believe in something wacky, as long as even if you believe in something wacky out there, you should be practicing skepticism. Let me get on a quick tangent and talk about knowledge for a second. In the field of epistemology, knowledge is defined as true, justified belief. Now, let's take those three things. You've got the true part, you've got the justified part, and then you've got the belief part. The belief part is usually in all of them. But the thing is for it to be knowledge, true knowledge, it must be true and justifiable. And you may be wondering, why can't it just be true? Well, for many reasons. Take thousands of years ago, when people thought that the earth was flat. Now, it's obviously not true. It's obviously a belief. But at the time, it was justified. And so that's why you need those both, so to speak. Because we can flip this over and take the Lion King, where Pumbaa, Timon, and Simba are looking up at the stars, and Simba starts talking about it being like the dead princes looking down upon us, and they start busting out laughing. And Pumbaa's all like, I think it's exploding gases billions of miles away or something. Like, he basically explains what stars are. Pumbaa was true. But Pumbaa was not justified in that belief, so it wasn't really knowledge. It isn't until those two come together that it becomes knowledge, and you should apply that to all the claims and things that you believe. Find out if it is true. If you can't find evidence, it's not a good time to believe in it yet. And if it is true, is it justified? Is it justifiable? If you think you see somebody off in the distance, but it's actually a sign, you're sort of justified in believing that it was a person. If it was the exact shape, you got the head and this and that, and it's very far away, you can't see it. But if it's a matter of what's true, you got to look for both. One's not enough. Justifiable isn't enough, because we can take our feelings and we can make that the justification for anything. That's what a lot of people do. That's why a lot of people say, I have faith. I have faith that this is true. Faith doesn't add anything to truth, and that's the problem. I could say that I have faith that Mexicans are better than black people. Doesn't make it true. It's back to true justified beliefs. The claim that I have socks on, I can guarantee you it's true, but you wouldn't be justified in believing it. But basically, if I show you my sock, you see it, you see that I'm wearing it, it's true, you're justified in the belief. At that point, it becomes knowledge. You got to realize that knowledge is a subset of beliefs. You've got a big circle of beliefs, and a small circle of that is actually knowledge, because you've seen all the beliefs out there. You've seen the whole drink the Kool-Aid for Haley's Comet type bullshit. You've seen the Uralians, I think, or the Uranians. I don't know what the hell they're called. You know, I've talked about Daniel on this channel believing he can teleport in time and all this other shit. The beliefs go out there. And within that circle is knowledge. It's not the other way around. But either way, there's probably a lot that I didn't get to in this video. It's like 2 a.m, and I hope I just made all of you guys yawn. Everybody's staying at home, getting all bored and tired and shit. Luckily, I'm still working. Got laid off and got a new job. Fuck it, I need to wrap up this video. Basically, why I'm a skeptic. I'm prone to believing fucking crazy shit. Hayden's got to do it for his own goddamn good. Number 2, I care about the truth rather than what I want to be true. And thirdly, I want to make informed decisions closest to reality and as far away from fantasy and delusion as possible. That became the goal, and I'm slowly getting there every single day. I'm not sure if you ever do. But either way, I think it's a worthwhile journey for everybody. Either way, I'll see you next time.